Greetings. I am Taven of a Mind Transformed, and this is Manna for your journey. I've heard at some corporate retreats they have a corporate exercise, and it's called a trust fall, where you basically cross your arms and you fall backwards, either into a net that your coworkers are holding, into a coworker's arms, or into a group of coworkers. And it's supposed to build trust. Are we willing to trust fall into God? The story is John 4:46 through 53, and it talks about a nobleman who comes to Jesus as Jesus returns to the same area where he had performed turning water to wine in around John chapter 2, around 11th verse. A nobleman comes to Jesus because his son is dying, and he asks Jesus to come down and heal his son. Jesus makes an interesting comment. He says, unless you see signs and wonders, you will by no means believe. It's interesting because the man came to Jesus believing that he could heal his son. It didn't say he tried Jesus last or he went to a bunch of doctors first. He heard Jesus was in the area. He came to Jesus. Now, we would think that's a measure of belief, but man judges the outward appearance. God judges the heart. To us looking at it, we're like, yeah, he believed Jesus could heal. He went and asked him. That's a measure of belief. But Jesus points out the fact, as God sees the heart, that the man only believed Jesus could do it in the way that the man thought it could happen. He thought Jesus had to physically see his son, physically pray over his son, or physically touch his son in order for him to be healed. And Jesus was trying to move the man to a completely different place. So he tells him, by no means you will believe. The man says, please come down. Jesus says, go, your son is made well. And the man leaves. And the Bible lets us know that he believes. As he gets home, servants run up to him and they tell him that his son is healed. He asks what hour it happened. They tell him. He realizes it was the exact hour that Jesus said, your son is well. And it says in the Amplified version that he and his household believed and they confidently trusted that Christ was the Messiah. There is a difference between belief and trust. If you believe is to accept something as true, to feel sure of the truth. Belief still impacts our feelings. Belief is still feelings based. Trust is a firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability of someone or something and their strength. Trust involves our faith. See, if we believe something, it may not cause us to do anything different. I believe that if I get in my car and drive on any street or highway in this Virginia area, I believe I can get a ticket. I believe that. I absolutely do. But if you've ever been driving through Virginia in a city called Emporia, which I like to call the traffic ticket capital of the world, you'll know that they have a reputation for handing out traffic tickets often. I believe if I drive on any city street, I can get a ticket. I trust that if I drive above the speed limit in Emporia, I will get a ticket. This trust causes me to set my cruise control to the exact speed limit that is posted in Emporia. Belief is that we're aware of something, it could happen. Trust causes us to act differently as if it already has happened. If you believe in God, that's one thing. But if you trust God, it will change your actions and your attitudes. If you trust God, you won't be concerned about what happens around you, what happens to everybody else. You'll know that you can have the peace that surpasses understanding. You'll know that if the economy completely collapses, you'll still be fine because God has provision that he can provide that's not based on worldly anything. Belief just makes us aware of. Trust will cause us to change. So as we go back to the trust fall, has your trust in God fallen based on what's happened in the economy, based on what's happened maybe on your job, based on what's happened to loved ones or friends? Or are you willing to trust God enough that you'll fall into his grace, fall into his mercy, fall into his love, and fall into his hands, where you can have the peace that surpasses all understanding and a joy that the world didn't give, so the world can't take it away. Everything Christ did when he ministered to people was trying to move them from a place of belief to a place of trust. Where are you on that scale today? Well, Thank you for allowing me to share another few minutes of your day. I am Tabin of a Mind Transformed. This has been Manna for your journey. Be blessed.